So today we have another idle game, inspired at least visually and I suppose conceptually by some very, very big popular mainstream games. I did the previous one and a Factorio based game, and everybody seemed to like that in as much as it hasn't been out for very long, but people seem to be enjoying that video. So I thought, here's another one. I spotted another one in my listings today and I thought, cool. I'm sure you will like to see this one as well. So here it is. It is called Idle Commander, and it is in a very, very alpha state. So I did think a little bit about whether I should do this or not. But yeah, why not? Let's have a look at it early. Let's offer some critique, have a look at the gameplay, and maybe that'll help the developer make some decisions and decide how he wants to progress further. It is based on Total Annihilation and Supreme Commander. I have not actually played Total Annihilation. I did play Supreme Commander 2 and enjoyed it an awful lot, which is why I saw this and went, ooh, let me have a look at this. And yeah, there is quite a lot of potential here. So let's jump in and have a look at it. Let's have a look at the gameplay. I'm not going to show too much about it. It does say that there is a save available. You can dump the save or load it. I don't want to do that. I want to show you guys a new game from the beginning. So let's jump in. This is our main gameplay screen. We have our play space. I'm assuming we're on some kind of space platform. So we have empty squares that we can build in. We have squares that we cannot build in because they are, I suppose, holes or something like that, or otherwise occupied. And then we have squares with the green cross on it. That is where we place the mass collector systems, because those are the only places that mass collector systems can go, and other structures cannot, I assume, go on them. Right, so our resources at the top, we have energy, which is currently 50 out of 50. We have mass, so sort of raw materials, which is slowly climbing up. We'll also cap at 50, and we have research, of which we have none coming in, and it will also cap at 50. Just below the big numbers, we have the little numbers showing that we have 0.1 coming in, we have none going out, so our increase is 0.1 of the energy, 0.05 coming in, nothing going out, so our increase is 0.05 of the mass, and then no research going in or out. So yeah, our goal now is to make these numbers bigger and move faster. And how do we do that? We build structures. So I will start by building a structure over here, which is a power generator. It's the only one we can build. Everything else is still locked up. We click on that. It doesn't matter where we've clicked. We can still choose where to put it. I'm going to put it over here on this corner. Boom. And now we have energy. So now that is generating, if we click on it and have a look, that is generating 0.05 energy. And so we were already producing 0.1 energy. So this is now 0.15. I think the 0.1 was probably generated by, I think that's supposed to be us, the Supreme Commander, the guy in the middle there, sort of our command facility. Yeah, so that was generating some basic materials. We are now generating a bit more. And we can build some more power generators. No, we can't yet because we've run out of the raw materials. It requires, you can see when you want to build it, it requires 33.75 energy and 20 resources. I think the more you build, the more it requires. So yeah, so the next one will require 0.50 and 30. We have quite a bit coming in now. We're up to plus 0.3. And what we can also do is upgrade them. So if you click on one of the facilities, you can see that it has details for upgrades to level 2. Energy, it will require 15 energy, and the mass, it will require 9 mass. And then the generation is currently 0.05. If we upgrade it, it'll go to 0.1 for a change of 0.05. So I do like the way the UI gives us a lot of information. I think there is more information that could also give us, and I think you could also lock some of that information away, but we'll talk about that in the critique section. But what we can do is sort of upgrade these. We are running out of resources, so we won't be able to upgrade the last one just yet. We'll have to wait for the mass to increase. And boom. Okay. So we can upgrade all of those. We now have quite a bit of energy coming in, a 0.5. We need more mass coming in. And what we have done is unlocked the mass extractor. So let's just wait till it gets to 12. Now we can build this. And as you can see, we can only build it on the green squares. Those are our mass sources. So I'm going to stick it over there, and boom, now we have more mass coming in. If we click on it, we can see that if we upgrade it, it will cost us 20 and 12, which we have. It'll bump it up from 0.05 mass to 0.1, which we want, but it will also consume more energy. So this mass extractor is currently consuming 0.1. We can see that here, 0.1. So we were generating 0.5. We've gone down by 0.2, 0.4. And if we upgrade this, it'll go down again. But we do want more mass coming in. So let's upgrade this. So now we have mass coming in quite a bit faster, and we can build things a little bit quicker. And what I would like to do with this extra resources is let's just upgrade these a bit more, because we always need more power. And this is requiring quite a bit of energy to upgrade, that's why it keeps being called out. But we have quite a bit of energy coming in now. We're back up to 0.5, even though we've got the mass extractor stealing at 0.2. And I would like to upgrade the mass extractor as well, actually. So now we have quite a bit of mass coming in, 0.2. We've got quite a bit of energy coming in, 0.4. And we can unlock the next big important bit of our infrastructure, which is the research facility. It's quite expensive to create, 40 energy and 24 mass, and that's fine. We can stick it, let's stick it over here. Maybe I should have put it down there. It doesn't really matter. There is an unlock later where you can get bonuses from adjacent things, but I'm not quite sure how it works. So yeah. So now we have research coming in. This is quite expensive to run. It requires 0.2 energy, and it requires 0.1 mass. And if we upgrade it, it will double it up. So we will lose another 0.2 energy and 0.1 mass, which we can actually afford. We will then have 0. So I don't want to do it just yet. But yeah, we could afford to upgrade it. But while it's busy counting up, let us actually go through another cycle of upgrading our facility here. Get those energies coming in a bit quicker, bump us up to 4 and everything. Coming in a little bit slowly because we do have the mass collector draining the research facility draining our outputs quite a bit. What we can do is we can turn it off. This is the little activity button here. This will then, the status will go to inactive and it'll stop consuming the consumption. But also it'll obviously stop producing research, and we want it to keep producing research. So yeah, we'll let it continue to drain our resources while we work on this here. And we'll want to upgrade this lad as well. Which I think will be the last time we can upgrade him at this point, because the energy he will require for the next stage of upgrade, let's click on it and find out, is now higher than 50, but we cap out at 50, so we have to build other buildings that then allow us to store energy and to store resources, so we can go for the higher upgrades and some of the higher research requirements as well. So we have now a good positive 0.3 energy coming in. We have a good positive 0.15 resources coming in, and we can bump this lad up, make our research come in a little bit faster, not a lot faster, but a little bit faster. Unfortunately, that really drops our resource gathering, so we'll need to build and do more buildings, more upgrades there to really get those coming in. But we can start looking at our research options, and this is our research page. As you can see, we are starting here in the middle. We've done our basic research. We've built our research facility. So what we can do is unlock a radar on the commander. We need 20 research for that. I'm actually tempted to take that one because I haven't yet. And we're almost on 20. We're now on 20, so we can do that. We can get adjacency bonuses for our various buildings. It's quite expensive in terms of research, and I'm not quite sure what the returns are on that. The UI does need a little bit more information on that one, but it's definitely an option. We can build energy storage. If we research that, we then have different buildings that we can build that can store our research. I mean, that's vital and it's cheap, so we do need to do that. We can come back and do that in a minute. And then I don't know if this is supposed to be up here. Unlock the forge allows creating more bespoke materials. So that's the kind of the next level of construction. There is also a tier thing. If you have a look in the structures options here, there is a tier as well as a level. We can unlock that through the research. I don't know what that does. I haven't fiddled with that too much. But let's see what the radar looks like. So let's research that. Now we have unlocked the radar. Does that just unlock it? Do we need to build a building? It doesn't look like we have to build a building. Oh, I see. Okay, so it now will scan individual blocks. How do we make more radar? Because we don't have a radar building we can build yet. Maybe we unlock that later. Okay, so this is how we boost the range, and it's the commander radar, and it needs basic alloys. Yeah, so that'll be stuff that we unlock later. What do you research? Storage. Okay. So yeah, so that is as much of the gameplay as I'm going to show. Thank you for watching. If you are just here for the gameplay, then I do recommend you come and give this little game, come and give the dev some love and some comments, and see where he takes it in the future. Give him a follow, see how this game unravels. And yeah, thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I also now have a Patreon, so if you want to have a look at the Patreon and put your thoughts in there as to how I can make it actually worthwhile Patreon, what I can offer you guys for membership and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, I would appreciate that a lot, but obviously don't feel compelled. And thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. If, however, you are here for the critique, well, we need to remember that this is an alpha, so I am not critiquing as in, oh, this is wrong, how could you do this badly? Not that I'm ever doing that, but I mean, especially in this case, these are my thoughts and my suggestions on what need to be worked on, rather than, you know, this is missing in some way. Because I understand that this is an alpha. There's probably a lot of things I'm going to suggest that you are already thinking about. A developer, if you're watching this, I hope you do. I would appreciate it. But yeah, to anyone who's watching this, these aren't complaints. These are suggestions for things to prioritize as a focus point. The first thing I would like to talk about is the information on the page, the UI. There is no tutorial. The game is quite simple, but I always think at least a basic tutorial is very important for games, because a lot of players who come into games in the indie space could be very novice players, and things that we think is very obvious about how a game works is actually skill set that we've learnt over playing games over years. New players don't have those skills, so tutorials are important, even when you think they aren't. Even when you think they're very basic and very obvious, consider how you're going to put a tutorial in. They are an important addition to gameplay. So yeah, a little bit more of a tutorial, a little bit more explanation, and more information. Like I said, I researched, we can have a look at it now. I researched the structure adjacency, got that, and then I'm like, so what did it do? Where are the adjacencies? If you click on it, it doesn't say how it's helping anywhere nearby. I think the generation number went up a little bit. I'm assuming those numbers have jumped up a bit. That one says 20. That one says 23. Why is that 23? Is he getting a bonus from being close to the commander? I don't know. Yeah, is this guy getting a bonus from being close to the commander or to the power plants? There is no information on it. So you definitely have to put more info about how the structures are working, but you can get overwhelming to players. Too much info, the brain tries to process all of the info every time it looks at it, because it needs to know whether or not this is new info that you need to look at or info that you can safely ignore. All of that processing goes on in the background of the brain, and so it's very, very valuable for the player, very nice for the player to be able to lock that information away. So when I'm clicking on this thing, the upgrade information should be behind a little sort of collapsible thing that should just say upgrade or something on it. So if I click on it, then it drops down and gives me this info, but if I click on it again, that info gets hidden, and then below that should be like the consumption. That should be on its own little drop down, so I can click it down, look at that and go, okay, this is the consumption, and then click on it and hide it away. So I don't need to always look at that every time I open this tab or anything like that. Seriously, make the ability to hide information away from your players, but in an obvious place where they know they can go and look at it when they need it, because that will make the gameplay a lot more comfortable. And it's very much the same logic around sounds. So obviously this game needs sounds. It needs good guttural sounds. It needs a nice pumping music track or something like that to really get this kind of techno context, this atmosphere, this vibe, delivered to the players. But you need to be able to turn that stuff off and down, because it can become overwhelming, and that will upset a surprising number of players who will go, this game is not really that much fun, I'm going to go and look at something else. So yeah, quality of life controls to manage the sounds. Definitely needs more sounds. I would say make that a priority. I know sounds are hard to do. They're either difficult to negotiate free sounds online, or it's expensive to pay an engineer to make sounds for your game. Whatever solutions you have access to, it's a cost and time and effort, if not money. So yeah, but it is important. Good sounds make many games. There are a number of games that I have chosen to play and discovered that I loved the games, but the only reason I chose to play them was because I liked the sounds. So yeah, work on your sounds, work on how to hide things away from players. And really, the only other thing I want to comment on is lore. We can talk about the art. The art's fantastic. It looks very, very good. Whatever your inspirations are and whatever your art source is, they're working. This is a fantastic looking game. But yeah, we need to know where we are. Are we on a platform? What is going on? Will there ever be enemies? What is the story behind us arriving here and going, I need to build these structures. Why am I here? Yes, I know, again, it's alpha. You probably have ideas in your head, but it is a good idea as early as possible to kind of try and deliver some of this information to players in the game. Please do not put all that info in the itch.io page, because you might not always be on itch.io. You're going to have the stuff in the game anyway. Start by putting it in the game, and in its own little tab in the corner here or something like that, just so that people can look at it and go, this is the storyline, and you can build a little intro that sort of talks about the story and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I know you're probably thinking this can happen later because I'm busy building the game now. Consider it from the beginning, first of all, because it guides your looks and the way the game works. If you are if you are still working on the design and flow and things like that. And secondly, because players want to know. They want to know the story. They want to jump into it even at this early level and go, right, I'm helping these people, I'm fighting those people, I'm doing this for this reason. It's motivation. And players respond to that. So you get that lore in there, get the storylines in there, start building that fan community who like to play the game but love to delve into the lore of the game. I mean, how many people follow like Warhammer 40k because they love the lore, they read the books, they might never play on tabletop, but they know the depths of the lore and they love it and they're into it, and they will buy books and other merch and things. Yeah, and maybe buy the figurines to paint because they're because they like them and they want them around even if they don't play. I know a few people like that, and I'm one of them, except I can't afford any of the figurines and things like that. So I'm a wannabe. but yeah, so get that lore in there. It is a powerful driver for what is happening in your game space and for getting people to come and love the game, and that's ultimately what you want. And that's everything from me. I could ramble on about this for ages, but I hope this has all been helpful. And yeah, so developer, thank you for making this game. Wobbling is the developer. There will be a link in the description. And yeah, thank you for everybody else who is watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. And that's it. Goodbye.